Hello and welcome back to 16 years and now kid free. You can find me here at Willow's Glamping and Camping. It's a beautiful little place. I'll take you to tour around later. I'll do that on a separate video. But yeah, it's a nice place. It's chilled out, and once again I'm by myself, but it's not a weekend this time, so I can pretty much guess that I'm going to be by myself. Anyway, cook myself some more chicken tikka masala. Oh, I was meant to cook this for the family the other day, but they ended up cooking lasagna. And I do well, even though my very first job was as a waiter in an Indian curry house called the Gandhi. It's called the Curry Lounge now. At the age of 12, yeah, I've done my fair share of work. It's been, a strange couple of days. I know I've got to head back to England, but I don't think it's quite sunk in yet. Even though I gave the key back to the family, it's not quite sunk in yet. But I know I've got to put into words what it's been like up in the northern part of Southern Ireland. Still weird, I must admit. But I'm heading towards Galway area, which is the Midlands of Ireland. I'm below Northern Ireland's little bit that is cut out. I can only see it on the black and white lines, but I'm below that area, heading down south. But what a beautiful place. That's the thing about it. It's such a beautiful place, and it doesn't matter where you go. It's either wild or rugged, or just out there amazingly breathtaking, or just socially friendly. From the very first time I got into Ireland, I drove from Dublin straight to the family's house, and the very next day I went up to Malahide, and that's the very first site I saw a proper coastal island of the Wild Atlantic Way. And if you're ever thinking of walking the Wild Atlantic Way, even though Ireland looks very small on the map, the inlets and outlets and everything like that makes it over 3,000 miles. That's a long way. That's a real long way. It really is. But yeah, even after Malahide, I came back to the family's house. And then a few days later I was up at Talabay, and then Fallon Lighthouse, and then after that I was done Glenveigh National Park, which is just amazing. You might have seen the videos and the photos of that. Just absolutely amazing. I've done so much here over the past 5 to 6 weeks that trying to remember every piece of it is quite hard. That's the reason I take photos and I do these videos. But yeah, to the Secret Waterfall, Silver Beaches, Slieve League, done all that. I've done like loads in between, Killybegs, Letterkenny. Even when I went over to Belfast, it's such an up and coming regenerating town. Regenerative. Sound like Doctor Who there. Even though there was a person over in Whitby that said I'd make a good Doctor Who. I'm not too sure on that. But yeah, done that. The Giant's Causeway. People say it's underwhelming. I don't. I think it's just an amazing thing to, to go and view. And everything in between, even coming down. Sligo. I love Sligo. I know the families, expects me to say, County Donegal, but Sligo, it resonates with me. Even to, I was there the other time when Paul met me for the first time. We went out swimming, and then like this time I came down, he was just like, oh yeah, come up, come and see me. And he said, turn right at the place, and then it's the first house on the left. And I was expecting like, individual driveways right next to each other, but it weren't. It was stacked again. And then when I turned up there, I was like, no, this can't be a place. It's like gated off. Where is this place? And I looked up, I was like, wow, that's his car. And then all of a sudden his head pops around the corner, opens the gate for me. I'm like, oh my word, where have I managed to get myself now? In a good way. I've paid for places like the Palace Hotel in Buxton and expecting, a crappy little hotel, and I ended up with a palace. But yeah, went in there and he was absolutely kind. He was doing his work and everything like that. And his shower, his bathroom was just amazing. Yeah, I've grown up in a house, my parents' house. It's not a very nice experience to be there, but even in my parents' house, it's a big house. Um, yeah, but this blew me away, just absolutely blew me away. Used the shower and then, oh, yeah, I got someone trying to ring me. If anybody works out what 01418460175 is, I've looked up on Google, and it just says it's like what do they call it? A cold calling service. Don't ring them back. Don't answer the call. But yeah, if anybody else knows it, or they can, make them bugger off, I'll be quite happy. But yeah, and then doing that, and that's just in the next, the last couple of days. But yeah, it's just amazing. Whoever keeps trying to report over in the UK or in England, that the Irish don't like the British, forget it. Please just stop it. Stop trying to turn people against each other. And it's just the same as with the whole immigrant thing. Oh, it's the immigrants' fault. It's immigrants' fault. The immigrants have been turned away. We've done Brexit. Okay, and they've been turned away. Fair enough, we've got a few, dozen coming over every month. Yeah, and believe me, I live on the southeast coast. I can see the boats that are coming in, and believe me, like the rest of you think, it is not waves and waves and waves of them. Yeah, and it's just the same as the media now is trying to broadcast this message of hate of, the working classes, wanting more wages. They want this, they want that. Oh, well, it's going to, destroy the entire. No, it isn't. Yeah, there's a brilliant cartoon caricature that comes up every so often, and it's literally three people sitting at a table, one in a suit, one in a hard hat, and then that, and then there's somebody else that's doesn't look like the other two of them. Yeah, and literally you've got a plate full of cookies on the man with a suit, you've got two cookies on the man in the hard hat, and the other man with no cookies. And you've got the man in the suit turning around to the man in the hard hat and saying, that man with no suit, or looks different, he wants your cookies. No. The people want you cookies are the people that want you to stay shut up. Yeah? And that's how I got brought up. Do as you're told and you get what you want. And then when you do as you're told, you don't get what you want because they've already got what they want. Yeah? And that's the beautiful thing about Ireland. Yeah? People do their jobs, do what they do because they're happy to do them. And it's just the same as the rest of the world that I've been around. Sorry, this has gone into a bit of a rant now. The rest of the world I've been around, whether it's been south of France, Spain, or anywhere like that, if you're doing a job, you can still talk to your friends. You can still, rather than what we have, what we have, which is, shut up, be quiet, do you, well, it used to be a 9 to 5, now it's a, 12-hour, 14-hour day, 16-hour day, and I've done them. I used to work in places where I was working at 7 at night until 7 in the morning, and the second they didn't have the work for you, off you go. So stand up for yourselves. Really do. You want to go out travelling, do it. If you want to experience life, do it. Don't wait for somebody else or a job, to turn around and say, oh, well, you've worked, 40, 50, 60 years of your life. Oh, you can go now. Oh, by the way, everything that we promised you, we're not going to do because we're allowed to change the rules. Ooh, that was a bit of a rant there, wasn't it? Sorry about that. I was meant to be talking about Ireland, this gorgeous green emerald island. Yeah. Where was I? I was at Sligo, and then even today I crossed 3 county borders. I've done County Sligo, County Mayo, and then into County Roscommon. I think it's Roscommon. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I've been down to County Mayo before because I've done Croagh Patrick, and that was an experience. And the next mountain that I'm coming up against is nearly as high as Ben Nevis. So I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't look as I love things being aura, but intimidating, and hopefully it has some switchbacks rather than just the shingle graph up. It's just hopefully it doesn't. But that's the way I'm heading down south. I'm going to enjoy it. Unfortunately, I've got to come home, but that's the way life goes. You know, you're born and you die. And as Lister from Red Dwarf once said, and this is how I'm going to say it, you're born and then you die. And the bit in the middle is called life, and that's what's to come. So enjoy yourself, live a bit of life. But other than that, take it easy, eat some nice food, keep adventuring, and love you, bye.